Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 29th of July 2013. So in today's news we have two things. First of all is an interview with Ghostcrawler and then a run over of the tweets. Funny enough, most of them are from Ghostcrawler too. So it's a very Ghostcrawler centric episode. Now for the interview, this took place in Korea a while ago and there's quite a lot of interesting stuff. So pretty much he said that 5.4 will not see the defeat, and that makes me think not strictly the death, although I do hope he dies, of Garrosh, and will set up the events for the selection of the next war chief. This is something we're not going to see in patch 5.4. Now I'm pretty sure the vacuum, the power vacuum left behind will make a massive war and all that stuff will happen, and overall Varian Rin's plan seems to be to off Garrosh and then wipe the floor of the remaining horde, which probably won't happen, and I'm sure some random character will come in to make sure the day doesn't go too much in anyone's particular favour. Now the next thing is that there are going to be 10th anniversary events, and they're in the works, but they're not really anything they're going to discuss. Last anniversary I remember, I think it was right after Wrath launched, maybe it was the 5th or the 6th? Wow, I've been playing this game for a long time. Yeah, we got a pet in the mail. So there's that. Now the next thing is that the future expansions will make a greater effort to reduce button bloat, and this has been a real problem with Mists of Pandaria. Especially for me, I'm a hunter, and we just have so many buttons. And I suppose it's okay for me because I'm able to use them all to their near full effectiveness fine, but I'd imagine it's pretty daunting for new players or new hunters. So that's definitely a thing all the classes need to have fixed. Now they have said that adding new spell effects, etc., it's pretty much like with new glyphs that I previewed a few days ago. It's nice, but they want to make sure that it's balanced with raid spell effects so that it's not a giant clusterfuck of assorted lights, and really that it would murder low-end machines, which can happen. I remember back in Syndragosa, even the spell effects on that boss would murder some people's machines, so yeah, it's pretty important that they balance all this stuff out. Next up, they said that some leveling areas need stronger guards, whatever, I don't think this really is something many people care about. He also said that, yeah, he was very tentative about adding a new class, although he did say another hero class was a possibility. I think it's getting to the stage where Warcraft has just got so many classes that it's very hard to balance. So maybe another hero class would be nice, but I think game balance is really what trumps everything. Now, of course, if the class is a hero class, it starts at, say, level 80 or 85, I think that would be very nice. Well, preferably for me it would start level 90, so I wouldn't have to go over bloody Pandaria again, but whatever. Yeah, hero class would be cool, might invigorate people to try a new class, play a bit longer, that sort of thing. And the reason monks weren't weren't a heroic class, a hero class, is because, well, starting at level 1 fitted with the story of the Wandering Isle, and it did a good job of making sure the level 90 population of monks wasn't absurd. Now, the interesting thing is that with monks being a complete hybrid class, it would have been weird to have every tank healer and DPS being a monk, but yeah, that kind of happened a little bit with Death Knights, with tank and DPS. So, yeah, that's a thing. Now, they also said that WoW will not be going free to play soon. Now, that's good to hear. And even if they wanted to make it a microtransaction game, it wouldn't even work within the current gameplay. And I think that is true. It wouldn't work within the current gameplay, so they better stick to that statement, because if they're putting in microtransactions and it doesn't really work within the game, it's to the detriment of the game, it's to the detriment of the successfulness of the microtransactions. Everybody loses, the players get pissed off, and ultimately Blizzard are the people who lose the subscribers, and that is exactly what they need to retain these days, so yeah, that's a thing. Next up, they said the XP buffs and the boosts and stuff like that is so that people can catch up with friends, and they don't want to go anywhere near pay to win. You don't need to give Blizzard extra money to catch up with friends. There should be systems in place to do this that don't require extra money, I think, because it's the best way to get people into the game and get them to 90, because at the end of the day, leveling, whatever, to the vast majority of the players, it doesn't really matter. It's the end game. It's being with a guild, being with friends. That is what keeps people playing the game. Leveling's just grinding out the same thing again and again, so really I think if it was to the expense of leveling speed or something like that, it would be worth being able to boost people up just as a mechanic of the game, not some extra thing that they can charge you with. But if they can charge you, I suppose they will. Now for blue posts. Now somebody said that, they said, please do not take away dodge and parry. And Ghostcrawler responded by saying why, and that it wasn't fun. It's an interesting thing, isn't it, because dodge and parry are such a core part of tanking, but they don't actually have any active role in it. It's a very passive thing. Once they're high enough, then you're good. However, it does... An important thing is that the more dodge and parry you get, the more your character is better at dodging and parrying, therefore you're a better tank, therefore you get a feeling of progression with your character. So I think if they were to remove them, it would be a little bit weird, and I'm not really sure what the best decision is. You can go two ways: either tanking is all about the active stuff that you do, and not your character, or go the other way and have it being all about your character, which I think it might be leaning a little bit towards now, because a lot of people say that tanking is really not as active as it could be. And I suppose that's probably a fair thing. Now, somebody asked to remove hidden experience and to fix Reforging. Now, they said that Reforging didn't work as intended and it was more of a hindrance, and that's true, because every time you get an upgrade, it throws all your Reforging out of whack. And all you do is you go to Ask Mr. Robot, you click the optimize button, and you do what the web form tells you. Why did I say web form? Whatever, you do what the website tells you. And it's not an interesting part of the game. It's not like, oh, my playstyle says I should get more mastery, so I'll reforge into that, which is kind of what they wanted us to do. Honestly, I think it was a bit of a stupid expectation for the system, because everything will be mathematical. There will be a mathematical best way to do DPS. That's a thing that's inherent to doing DPS and having it being measurable in the game. So it was a bit of a silly expectation, and yeah, I think it's interesting with removing hit and expertise, because these are stats which I think actually could be removed. Now, back in the day we had defense rating for tanks, and really defense rating just meant that you were immune to crits. And it was okay, but it wasn't really interesting, was it? You just got your defense rating and then you never had to worry about it again. These two stats are really just something that you have to worry about at the start randomly, and then once you have them, you're good. They don't play any part of the game, they don't really play any interesting part in the amount of damage you do either. So, yeah, I could actually see hidden experience or expertise being removed from the game, and really not a lot of people caring. Probably some ultra hardcore idiot will care, but whatever, they don't really matter. Now, they also said that no classes need an overhaul, but they think hunters and rogues need work done. As a hunter, absolutely, I think that's true. Our specs are a mess, our balancing is a mess. We're one of the lowest lowest damage, pure DPS classes, which is ridiculous. So yeah, hunters need a lot of work, can't speak for roads. They also said that tooltips at the minute feel way too lawyery, and that's probably true. Not really great for the immersion of the game when new people are seeing stuff like that, although I do think they have like a simple version of the tooltips that people can look at that are a little bit more user-friendly, I suppose. Also, he said that Ghostcrawler said the game would be better with less high DPS jerks and more low DPS nice people. I think this is a bit of a stupid thing for Ghostcrawler to say, because at the end of the day, you can have low DPS jerks and high DPS nice people. It's just him sort of twisting and construing facts to serve the argument that he was in at the time, which is a pretty dick move. At the end of the day, low DPS nice people, while they're great and they're nice, at the end of the day, people should be able to say, look, you're a cool guy, but really, just read this guide, because you're dragging everyone down. And it does suck when people are being carried, and it's frustrating, because you put in the work and other people just try and come in and freeload. I do think that on the whole, a more skilled player base is a good thing for everyone, and I think it's really impossible to argue against that. He also said that too much change is a problem, and that requiring players to adapt to each patch isn't good. This is a problem we've had a little bit, but I think it could be getting better as the classes are getting more sort of chiseled down and refined. And finally, he says that his job is 1% thinking and 99% getting shit done. I'd probably rephrase that to 1% thinking, 50% getting things done, and 49% responding to trolls on Twitter, which seems to be something he spends a lot of time doing. So that's it for today's show. Things to say: live stream, I'm doing it more, go on to the live stream. There's like links in the description and shit. So other than that, please like if you like, and if you're new, please subscribe because it's awesome, and I'll see you next time.